Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laurent. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 24. I just watched the Episode 23. If you want to see my reactions and my thoughts about it, I'm gonna put the link into the eye. And just after this episode, I'm gonna watch also Episode 25. We're gonna end this Season 3 together, guys. Today, during this session of binge watching of 3 episodes, it's really great. Yes, I changed my outfit, you know, since the last episode because it's getting colder. Like I said during the intro of the last episode, that's it. We are really in our town right now. The weather is changing each minute. Like right now, it's big sun. During the episode, it's gonna be big rain. At the end of the episode, maybe it's already gonna get dark and I'm not gonna be able to film for the last episode. Like really, you can never know. The light is changing a lot. I'm sorry if it's disturbing for you, but I think that no matter what, you can still see me. So that's okay. For the reactions, you know, that's okay. The last episode was so great, guys. I didn't expect it to be so emotional, to cry that much. I knew that a confrontation, you know, between Bakugo and Dekku would be emotional for sure, but I didn't know that it would be that much because I didn't think at all that Bakugo would open himself to Dekku that much, that he would talk about his feelings, his thoughts so much. The fact that after just 1 or 2 exchange, you know, of French, the guy crashed, you know, and he was crying and he was saying to Dekku the truth, the fact that he feels responsible for All Might losing his quirk. It broke my heart first to see Bakugo expressing feelings and to see that Bakugo was so hurt inside and he kept that pain for himself during so long. That guilt, the fact that he can feel guilty about it and he never said it to anyone, it hurt me so much for him. But I loved at the same time this moment because finally Bakugo was opening himself to someone, and the fact that it was to Dekku. All of the memories that we had during the previous episode about these two when they were kids, about Dekku following Bakugo everywhere, even if Bakugo was mean to him, the fact that he continued to be there no matter what, the fact that they both admired All Might that much. These memories were hurtful also to watch, and then the fight between them with Dekku saying that he understands Bakugo right now, he understood that Bakugo just wanted to fight because he couldn't handle his feelings, and that's the only thing that he found truly. I still think that he wanted to fight Dekku in particular because he didn't understand why All Might chose Dekku and not him, but also why Dekku, who had no power, and he wanted to test Dekku to feel why, to really have that fighting Dekku, like, are you truly better than me? Are you truly that good? Fight me, prove me that you're that good. The fact that it ended that fight with Bakugo winning, that was a little surprise for me because I expected for Dekku to win that fight to prove to Bakugo that All Might was right to choose him. And at the same time, I think that it makes sense with the fact that Dekku is not ready yet. All Might intervened during that moment and Dekku told him the truth also about the fact that he feels responsible for what happened, about everything also, about himself, about the fact that he feels weak. For Bakugo to feel weak, like, we know that he wants to be the best, he wants to get stronger because he wants to be like All Might, thinking that All Might is great because All Might always wins the fact that Bakugo can think that he's weak, it broke my heart also, because for sure he's strong and I never adopted that, you know, like I always said that he was strong and great. I had some issues with his attitude during the season 1, but for sure his quirk is impressive and since the beginning, and the fact that he feels like he's weak because when he was kidnapped he was not strong enough to defend himself, and because of that All Might had to intervene to save him and to sacrifice his quirk. He feels weak because of that, but also I think because at so many occasions people were forced to save him and we saw it. Dekku a lot of time. Bakugo thinks that he's weak. It's also breaking my heart a little for him. The fact that All Might wanted to hug him and Bakugo pushed him away. Oh. But I love that All Might can understand Bakugo, can see through Bakugo, and right there he knew that Bakugo and Dekku needed that conversation, and he saw what they can do and how great they are, not just because of their quirks, but because Dekku he wants to save people, because Bakugo he wants to win no matter what. And he said it, All Might, an hero has to have these two things, and together they are so great. After that they said that they want to surpass the other one. But that, I said it during the review of the last episode, for me it's a great thing. You need a good adversary, an amazing one, to push you to be better, to train yourself more and stuff like that. So for that I'm not against it at all. But I think also that Bakugo understood the responsibility that Dekku has now with this quirk. He understood it, and that's why he's never gonna say that secret to anyone, and he said it because right there too many people could take advantage of it, and he understood that. But I think that also because of that he understands that Dekku has to get stronger and quick, and I'm not gonna say that he's gonna train him, he's gonna help him and stuff like that, but maybe sometimes he's gonna help him still a little in an hidden way or something. And no matter what, I think that because of that, he's gonna push Dekku to be better, like he's not gonna block him anymore. Maybe it's more that, you know. He's not gonna block him anymore for some little things. We'll see. But you know that I don't think after the last episode, the fact that Dekku asked him, what do you think about my fight, you know, about my way of fighting? And Bakugo truly told him his opinion and Dekku could learn from it. That was something great, like really I was like, shh, that's already amazing, you know, Bakugo telling you great stuff in an hidden way, you know, in a Bakugo way. It's great. Don't push it too much, you know, stop it right there or continue the thing, but whisper to him like really like a savage animal that you don't want to afraid, like it's gonna be okay. Oh, All Might said it, the fact that Bakugo can feel Dekku's feelings, you know, because Dekku is an emotional person and is not afraid of saying his feelings. Dekku, he admires Bakugo so much. The fact that he said that Bakugo is the face of victory for him. I loved it so much. Like really, the last episode surprised me because it was way more emotional than I thought and it was so great. But it was also really a lot, and it was not the final episode, you know, like I knew that the last episode would be entirely about them. But for me, what is gonna happen during these two final episodes, it can be an attack from the League of Villains, but not a big one. Like, I don't think that we're gonna get involved into a big fight which is gonna last for entire episodes. I have the impression that right now, for the League of Villains, for themselves, you know, for their image and stuff like that, it would be great to make an attack, but an attack not to do something, but to send a message. We are still there, even if you arrested our master, we are still there, you can join us, you know, something like that to continue the fight. Or they can release their master. I also have this impression that the guy is not gonna stay in his jail for a really long time. We'll see. And I'm gonna see that right now. Let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon, on which you can have 4 videos of advance, which means 2 weeks of advance. It's really a lot, which means that they are already discovering the next season, you know, on my Patreon. They have extended reaction part videos, which are already interesting because I'm not forced to cut each 5 seconds and I'm really letting the scene go. And sometimes I put the full reaction part for big episodes, like I don't want to cut into some moments because I'm too involved into it. Like for sure for the last episode I'm gonna put the full reaction part, so if you want to see the full reaction part of the last episode and maybe of this one, if I decided to put the full reaction part for this one, you can have my Patreon for that. It's the best way to support me. I'm a little reactor on YouTube and on Patreon, so if you want to support me, go on my Patreon. It's €5 for the level 2 and you're gonna have all of the extended reaction part, and it's €10 for the level 3 to have extended and full reaction part. And it's for 1 month, you know, each time. Like, I don't know why, you know, a few of you during the last month sent me a message like, oh, it's not €5 for each video. I was like, no, like really, no, don't think that. It's for the entire month. And because of that, during the entire month, you're gonna have access to the new videos, but you have access also to all of the videos that I posted before that. So if you're joining my Patreon right now, you can binge watch all of my reaction videos for My Hero Academia, all of the full ones, for example, if you want to come back to that, and you're gonna have access to all of the videos of the month for sure. I don't know why, you know, I think that it was a good reminder during this intro, just in case, you know, for you guys if you're interested. Let's go for this episode. What? I'm sorry, for some seconds I was like, am I into Attack on Titan? This guy? Why that other voice? Like you have 2 personalities or something like that? I think that this guy made me think of Reina in Attack on Titan. Why the scar right there, like? And why the voice is making me think of the master? No, he's an asshole. I'm sorry, but to his family, like... The music? You have a voice into your mind. We're okay with that. Who the fuck are you?
久しぶりだな。ここ 1,2 週の間でスーツアイテムの闇市場が一気に活性化してる。今じゃバカどもとカリスマだぜ。そりゃよかった。よくね。でもね、なんだ。もう忙しいんだ。暇だよ。ダビと連絡がつかない。知ってるぜ。知らねえ。
You know Dabi. What the fuck is happening with you?
捜査の目をくらますため、そして同志を集めるため、組織のさらなる拡大のためだ。出てめ、気持ち悪い顔しやがって。これはいらねえよ。
So you're just killing them?
ゴミならせめて
Oh, Dabi,
燃えて俺の薪となる
you're a rough manager, you know? Making you work for the human resources of the League of Villains? I'm not sure it was a good idea. It's you?
俺の個性は2倍一つを二つに増やすシンプルな力だ
Yes, we saw that. I didn't think that it was you.
分身に何でもやらせて俺は俺たちの王だっただが俺が王であることに俺は不満を持ってしまった
By your clowns?
ある程度そのうち俺たちが自分こそ本物だと主張を始めて争った
What a mess.
この怒れた状況が1週間と2日続いたんだ結果として俺たちは殺し合い消えた以来俺は俺が本物なのか確信が持てない
You're not sure you're the real... You're the original... Oi. Is it important to be the original one? What is important is to be the only one.
俺が探しているのは同じように怒れちまった人間大の大人が何人も揃って小さなコンビニのレジを盗むだけ普通これだけ集まればもう少し大きな目的を持つと思う
Who the fuck are you?
病気は治さなきゃ
So many new people?
どうやらイカレ野郎どもは自分たちで居場所を作り始めたようだ
He's not from the League of Villains. He's a villain who is feeling more free to be outside.
自分がどうなりたいのかどうしたいのかそれがとても大事なよしどうしよっかな
Who are you, all of you? And we're back with our students, like...
腕の使えない生活になると思っといて昨日
Never.
引き続きシュートスタイル見つめようみんないいか皆さんそれでいて迅速に
I love you so much, Ida. When you're like that, you're the best for me, like... Wow. You had it?
さてはまたおめえだけ落ちたな期末試験の時みたいに全員合格水が
I'm glad for all of you, not for you. We never saw you, honey.
それは腕を振ってさあみんな死後は慎むんだ
Hello, you.
かっこ悪いとこ見せてくれる
I like him, you know that I like him.
なんかあいつなんとなくこうつくな時も
He's great. I appreciate him.
みんな大好き小型哺乳類の校長さ
You're talking about yourself like that?
校外活動ヒーローインターンもこれまで以上に危機意識を持って考えるみんな社会の後継者であることを忘れないでくれたまえ校長それでは最後にいくつか注意事項を
No, you're too old to be there, to be a student. Okay. We never met him before.
先生何だったんだ
切れると人語忘れちまうのかよ
It seems so.
緑谷さんとパクゴンさん立派な同じ扱いですねえ知ってるね
Show your face, you, for real?
今日は座学のみだが後期はより厳しい訓練になっていくからな
話ないね
なんだしろ
久々の感覚石行式でお話に出たヒーローインターンってどういうものか聞かせてもらえないかしら
平たく言うと郊外でのヒーロー活動以前行ったプロヒーローの下での職場体験その本格版だ
They're all gonna want to participate.
これは授業の一環ではなく生徒の任意で行う活動だむしろ
Okay.
体制で指名
Only the ones who want?
もともとは各事務所が募集する形だったが遊園生徒引き入れのためにいざこざが多発分かったなそれ
早とちりしてすみませんでした
ヴィランの活性化も相まってお前らの参加は慎重に考えているのが現状だ
Could be great.
まあこっちも都合があるんでな じゃあ待たせて悪かったマイク。
久々登場俺のダンジョンまただこら
Always too excited.
当然のように習ってない文法出てたよな。
あそれね私もびっくりしたの
つまずくとその後の内容頭入れてんだよ。
インターン
You're gonna be afraid to be late now?
前に職場体験させてもらったとこでやらせてもら
Oh, and you missed some information.
ちゃうよねたった1日ですごい置いてかれてるか
Not that much.
飯田君インターンって何
Either.
ないよ当の伝達は先生から禁じられた。
You're not gonna tell me?
差がつくぞ僕らとって取り戻さないと
Oh.
ゴミね
Oh, so you're not that guy, but you're the guy, the student that we saw before.
俺のことはじきにわかるんだよねとにかく元気があって何よりだよね
It's not an invisible thing, it's more something,
引っかかりつつ
things, you know, being a part of things.
反省文も提出飯田君ごめんね失礼してしまってもう
反省してくれればいいか。
No, tell him!
取り戻すんだいいなそういうの好きよ俺
Poor you like that.
バイトで職場体験とどういう違いがあるのか直に経験している人間から話してもらおう。
Okay, that's the students.
現 USA の
This
中で
one.
トップに君臨する3年生3名通称ビッグ3のみんなだ。
The big three? I'm sorry, he looks like Tintin. I don't know if you know this character. It's from a Belgian comic BD. No. And you know, Tintin in English, I don't know, is really defined by the fact that he has a round face, really round, you know, with blonde hair and hair in particular like that, and with his blue eyes. And normally also he has a dog, a white dog. I'm gonna put a picture of him right there just so you know who I'm talking about. And really this guy, I don't know why for now I want to name him Tintin, like really? His face is making me think of Tintin. The big three from the 3 years, you know, like of the school, top of their classes, the big three. Is it like one from each class? You know, I'm thinking about hero class, you know, like, no, I think that they're all trained to be heroes and that's why they're gonna be right there to give you advices and train you. This one wanted to talk with you first, Dekku. He has his eyes on you. The way that he was presented like that to us, you know, with that mystery, we saw him only like behind a little of his smile and stuff like that. I'm wondering why all of this mystery around him, why presenting him like that. And you know, the fact that during the first part of this episode we met another character with blonde and hair, I was like, that's it, it's the same, but no, it can't be. He's too old for that. No, it was not him at all, clearly. The quirk is totally different. I don't think that he has a quirk like an invisibility quirk. I think that it's not a chameleon thing neither. For me it's really like he can melt with things. I don't know how to say it. The fact that right there he was in the building, after that in the floor. For me it's really like he can enter into things, melt with things. Do you understand what I mean? I think that it's more something like that than an invisible quirk. Suddenly it's gonna be invisible. No, he can just pass through things. I don't know. I felt it more like that. Is he related to the guy, to the villain, to Twice? Is he related with him? You know, the fact that they were presented like that, it's almost like you made a parallels, a connection between these characters. Do I have to think that they're connected, that it's your son or something like that? No, I don't want to think so. Like, For now, the guy didn't do anything wrong. No. Come on. To finish, with the second part of this episode, we had our guys coming back to school with that big opening, with the principal talking about his third during entire minutes. With that wolf teacher, we never saw him before. It was fun to have him presented like that. Then we had them taking a class and it was a rough one. We saw that Dekku was mad because he felt like he was left behind, because his friends are gonna progress without him. We saw that Ida was mad at him, was disappointed maybe more at him. Now Dekku is gonna be back, not Bakugo, not yet. I think that, the fact that they are not coming back at the same time, we need a reason for that, and if they began to do their duties, their punishment at the same time, for me it means only one thing, the fact that Bakugo didn't write his letter for now, a letter to apologize. Bakugo! I'm not sure, maybe he's a little late, for doing his letter. So that's for the second part of the episode. The first part really surprised me, the fact that we were following that guy that we didn't know before, but in fact we met him during this attack, from the League of Villains, but we never saw his real face. Now we saw his real face. We have also his motive, for being a part of the League of Villains. We have also a little of his background, the fact that he made clones. That is quirk, and they were all fighting together about who is the real one, and they killed each other, and you're the only one alive at the end, and you're not sure that you were truly the original one. I'm thinking during this attack at the training camp, he didn't make clones of himself, he made clones of Dabi and the other ones, but not of himself. I think that he's too afraid of doing that now. We had all of these villains acting, stealing, being violent and all. We saw that Dabi killed some of them, really, like I said during this moment. Dabi, to put you, at the human resources service of the League of Villains, I'm not sure that it was a good idea. For sure, you're gonna eliminate the villains who are not strong enough to be a part of your League of Villains, but to destroy them, to kill them just like that, I'm not so sure. Maybe let them out, doing their things as villains and just refuse them into your little team. Maybe it's better like that. This guy, with the mask to look like a bird, he seems interesting, in the sense that it made me feel like we're gonna see him again at some point, and he's gonna be important maybe at some point as a villain, as a character that we're gonna see again, we're gonna have to deal with again. But also how he was talking and his group, it made me think that maybe he's not gonna be a part of the League of Villains, but he's gonna be one of these new villains who are gonna be out, who are gonna be a pain in the ass, for our heroes no matter what. Like I said, when the League of Villains began and spread that message about people joining them because they are thinking like Stain, something which is rough with all of that is the fact that because of the situation with the League of Villains, people are gonna feel more allowed to be villains, to switch as villains because they want to do bad stuff, because they truly think like Stan, because they want to be a part of the League of Villains, they believe into their ideas and they believe into their actions. People who are just gonna agree with them, and that's also really bad because at some point maybe they're gonna cover for them or they're gonna agree with them, and it can be bad. And right there, I think that in a way they showed us that all of these actions made by the League of Villains are pushing people to be villains, are pushing villains to be more obvious, you know, like to act without any fear, to be out totally, to regroup themselves also as group of villains. Not only to join the League of Villains, but also to just act on their own, you know, as villains outside. Do you understand what I mean? It was weird. That first half of the episode was weird. Like, I took a long time at the beginning to understand why we were following that guy, why the second voice into his mind, and I still don't understand the second voice in his mind. Because if you're queer, it's to make clones. Maybe you're not the original one, and that other voice that you have on your mind, it's the original you. But you know, I thought also during that moment, you know that one of the theories that I have about a master, for him to get out of jail, we know that he has a lot of quirks, and he gave me the impression that maybe he was talking with the outside in a way, and I thought that maybe it was by telepathy. And right there, I thought that maybe it was not a voice that this guy twice he has into his mind, but maybe it's more a telepathic thing, like he's in connection with someone who can talk to him telepathically. I don't know, maybe I'm going too far with that. It really surprised me to have all of that about the villains. Like I said, I think that it's pretty interesting to understand that the villains, like, they're so out, you know, like they don't care about being out, being seen by everyone, making their actions, you know, so obviously, and there are really a lot of them out there, not only the ones being a part of the League of Villains, but also just villains doing their own stuff. Twice his story's background also really surprised me. It's a rough one, you know, to not be sure of who you are. He gave me really the impression of someone who is not into a good place, you know. Speaking of his mental health. But now what? Like, I'm gonna watch the final episode of the season and I don't know what it's gonna be about. And it's gonna be the final episode of the season, so I'm expecting something big to happen into it. What? I have no clue. We'll see, and I'm gonna see that right now because I'm gonna watch it right now. If you already want to watch it, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can already have the videos for the next 4 episodes on my Patreon, so you can already watch my reactions and my thoughts to the next episode on my Patreon and also to the beginning of the next season. So it's all for you for this video and it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine?
Crazy.